Hello, and welcome to episode 60 of Court's Place. I am so glad that you've chosen to join me for today's conversation. For today's episode, I was thinking that it might be fun to take a deeper dive into my relationship with my grandma, like I have talked about in previous episodes. As always, if you like what you hear, please leave a review and/or comments, follow my podcast, and tell your friends. Also, please follow the podcast page I've made on Facebook. If you'd like to contact me via email instead of a Facebook message, you may email me at corachin@mailbox.org. If you are new here, welcome. I'm your host, Cora, and I'm so excited to have you on this journey with me. Today, I want to take a deeper dive into my relationship with my grandma. She is someone who is very special to me, and I honestly cannot imagine my life without her. I have talked about my relationship with her in previous episodes, but I thought it would be fun to talk about it some more, and also some of the blessings of our relationship. As I have probably said before, I haven't necessarily always been super close to her, but now that I am, I couldn't imagine it any other way. One of my favorite memories that I have with her are any of my visits to see family in Montana. Montana is one of my absolute favorite places on the whole planet. As I record this, I have only been out there 3 times, but each time I go, my love for Montana grows deeper. Montana has definitely stolen a big piece of my heart. I also have other favorite memories that I will share a little later in this episode, but for right now, I want to share some of the many reasons why she is special and important to me. Also, I just want to say that I find it so hard to believe that this is already episode 60 of regular episodes. It feels like just yesterday I was releasing the trailer. Anyway, let's get right into the episode. To be honest, there are many reasons why she is special and important to me. It is hard to try and narrow down my top reasons, though. I will list some of them. The first one that I want to share is that she listens when others are hurting and she prays for and with them. I can think of several examples in my life of when she has done that for me, and it is always such an encouragement and a blessing to me. I love hearing her voice, and also any time I get to see her in person. I definitely don't see her as often as I would like, but I really do love and enjoy any time I do see her. We do try to talk on the phone as much as we can, though. Usually, it's maybe about once a week or maybe every couple weeks, depending on what we have going on. Sometimes we might call a couple of times a week. Hearing her voice on the other end of the line is so special and something that is super important to me. Another reason she is so important to me is that we always have such a nice and fun time whenever we're together. Quality time with people is something that I value very much, and it is a very important part of my life. My grandma has been there for me in hard times, good times, sad times, happy times, and confusing times. She is one of the people that I am closest to and one of the people I trust the most. She's also one of the people that I know has my back, and I have hers. She has never left my side, and I am so grateful to have her in my life as my very special grandma. Additional examples of why she is so important to me are, she cares about others, she helps others, she is wise, she loves others well, she is a great teacher to me for sewing and cooking or baking, and she also makes me smile. Whenever I have a bad day, if we're able to talk on the phone, the conversations we have are wonderful. I think just knowing that I have her on the other end of the line as someone who loves me, cares for me, and wants to listen and help is so helpful for me. It makes me feel a little less alone sometimes. Often, I think that people can feel so lonely and isolated in our lives. I have faced it before, and it is not easy or fun to go through, but it does happen. I want to encourage you to find someone you can talk to when you struggle and need a listening ear. If I can, I would love to be that for you. I may not have the exact advice you are looking for, but I would love to try and help if I can, or to direct you to someone else who can help as well. My grandma is someone that I can lean on when I am struggling, and I hope that I have been able to do the same for her, and also for any of you who may need it. Sometimes I have a hard time talking to her about things, but in the time that I have been able to have a closer relationship with her, that has become easier in some aspects. There are some parts of life that I need to work on being more confident in sharing with her, or even sharing with others as well, but I would say that I'm pretty open with her otherwise. My conversations with her are something I treasure and value so much. Some of my most favorite memories that I have with her include when she would take me to my horseback riding lessons, any time we would bake or cook together, sewing together, just sitting and talking, when she would sometimes watch my swimming lessons, having her there for various Awana activities, mostly the awards nights at the end of the year, celebrating birthdays or Christmas together, her being there for my baptism, being in Montana together, a couple of fun trips to Kentucky, and there are also so many other favorite memories that I have with her, but these are just to name a few. I honestly don't think I would be who I am right now if she wasn't in my life and if she wasn't my grandma. She truly makes my life better, and I am so thankful that God chose to put her in my life. I think the world needs more people like her. I don't think I will ever be able to adequately describe in words how special she is to me, and if I ever get to be a mom or a grandma, I hope my kids or grandkids will be able to say the same things about me. I want to leave a lasting and positive impact on my future generations. She does her best to try and point me back to God. She loves me even despite my flaws, mistakes, and times when I mess up or may not be the easiest to love and get along with. However, I also understand that some people may not necessarily have the greatest relationship with some family members. That is hard to deal with, but it does happen sometimes, either by something that maybe they did, or maybe it was something that you did. I do not want you to blame yourself, though. Maybe you didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes, I think we tend to blame ourselves a lot when something happens and we think that it is our fault, even if it isn't necessarily. At times, yes, it can be something we did, but at other times, it is not necessarily our fault. It can be so easy to be very hard on ourselves, and we end up just making ourselves feel guilty for things that weren't even necessarily our fault. It's something that I have even done in my life. This is something I need to work on too, but I think we need to remember to give ourselves and others grace when we mess up on something. It is so much easier said than done at times, but I think it can be possible if you try hard enough. We have to keep working on just doing things one step at a time. It is easy to get overwhelmed when we can see a lot of steps for a project in front of us. I actually faced that myself pretty recently, as of the recording of this episode. I had something that I knew I needed to do eventually, but I had been procrastinating on it, and at one point after I had started, it felt pretty overwhelming to me, but thankfully, I got it finished successfully, and it ended up being fine. It takes time and effort to develop perseverance, but it definitely is possible when you try. Do not give up hope if you are trying something and you keep being unsuccessful with it, especially if it is something you don't have much experience doing. You need to persevere. Persevering is a much better option than just giving up. There are some situations where you may need to call in a professional to help you, but asking for help is completely okay and even normal. It is okay to admit that you need help, whether that's help with fixing something, building something, help with any aspect of your health, help navigating somewhere you haven't been to before, or anything like that. Getting help does not at all mean that you are weak or that you're a failure. It's okay to ask for help. Everyone needs help at some point. You are not alone in that at all. I think it's brave even just admitting that you need help. It takes courage and honesty to admit that. Even I need help sometimes. We are not meant to do things alone in life. We were made for community with others, and if we have a community around us, it is a much better option to share your struggles with your community and get help if you need to. I am sure that there are people who would love to help you if you ask them. People won't know you need help or know how to help you if you don't speak up and say that you need help. Yes, it can be scary, but getting help is so much better than just staying silent and continuing to struggle on your own. It took me a little while before I was able to convince myself that I could share more personal things with my grandma, but now that I have, it has gotten so much easier and I cannot imagine it any other way. I wouldn't even want it any other way other than to have an even closer and deeper relationship with her. My relationship with her is one of the most valuable parts of my life. She always tries her best to point me back to God and to walk with me through a struggle that I face in life. I love her so much, and I can't even begin to adequately express my love and gratitude for her in words. I hope that you have someone like that in your life that does that for you. If you don't, I really hope you find someone who can be that for you. I can honestly say from personal experience that it really is such an encouragement and a blessing to have that in life, especially during hard times in life. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please follow, leave a comment, and or review of my podcast if you haven't already, and please follow my podcast page on Facebook so you never miss an update. If you have any verses you'd like me to read on a future episode, or if you have any topics you would like me to talk about, you may email me at corachin@mailbox.org, or you can send me a message on my podcast page on Facebook through the link in the show notes, and I will get back to you when I can. Hope you tune in next week for episode 61.